G'day everybody. In this video, I'll show you how to create a lightning special effect using Adobe After Effects. So what you want to do is, in After Effects, you want to go to New Project and then open the video footage that you're going to use. So I've got this video clip here that I just shot at my house, and I'm going to click and drag it onto this button here to create a new composition, and that'll bring my video layer in. If I hit the spacebar to press play, you'll see it's just a video clip, and I'll walk in here and I'll use my hands to pretend I'm shooting some electricity out of them, a bit like the Emperor on Star Wars, okay? And I'm shooting this poor rocking horse that my son owns because I had nothing else to use. So anyway, that's the footage that I'm going to use, and I'm going to show you how to do this pretty neat effect. Now, it is a little bit time consuming, so I'm going to try to go through this quickly. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to generate our lightning bolts. So we need to go into layer and create a new solid layer for this. Now, it doesn't just click OK, the color doesn't matter, and that'll create a solid block of color on top of our video layer. Now, we want to go into Effects and find Generate, and in Generate there's one called Advanced Lightning. So click, hold and drag that onto our solid layer, and that's going to create our lightning bolt. Okay, it's important that we do that on its own solid layer, otherwise it won't work properly. Now, in your effects control should automatically come up for the advanced lightning effect that we've put on. If it doesn't, just click these tabs here and then you'll find effects controls there. Okay, now you can, the first thing that you'll have to do is change the lightning type from direction to strike, okay, and that'll give us an origin and direction and origin point that we can move around and animate. Now, look, you can play around with these settings as much as you want. I'm not going to, but there's a whole heap of different things. I want to show you a couple, like if I want to change the color of the core from white to, say, I don't know, red or something like that, I can click that and I can do that. I could change it any color you want. Now, if yours isn't showing, just make sure that preview is ticked, because if preview is not ticked, it's not going to show it. Okay, I'll cancel out of that. I'm going to leave it white. You can also change the color of the glow. So if you want like a red or a green lightning, for example, you can do that. I quite like having this kind of yellowish lightning, so I'm gonna choose that one. Okay, now there's lots of other options in there you can play around with. They all just kind of change the shape and the style of the lightning bolt, but for this case of this, I'm going to leave it. Now, what you want to do next is just move the playhead to the point in the video where we want the lightning bolt to start. Okay, so as I start to move my hands forward, the lightning's probably going to start to shoot out about there. So I don't want the lightning on the screen until that frame in the video clip. So what you'll need to do is make sure that you've got the solid layer selected and just hover over the edge of the layer, the red bar there, and click, hold and drag and pull it back to where the playhead is, and then you'll notice that the lightning bolt comes on screen at the right time. Now, it's not in the right spot, but we'll fix that up in a minute. Now, I actually want two of these because I've got two hands go in there. So all you need to do is select the solid layer, go to edit and go to duplicate, and that'll just copy the layer. So now I've got two of them, all right, and they're exactly the same. Now let's start to set up the position of these. So what we want to do is let's just go into the first layer. All right, and if you click the tab there and go into effects, you'll see you've got advanced lightning there. Open that one up, and in origin and direction you want to start the stopwatches. Okay, that'll give us a keyframe which enables us to animate the effect. So we'll be able to animate the lightning bolt following the path of my hands. So that's good for that one. Let's just close that tab and let's go into the other solid layer, effect, advanced lightning, and let's do the same thing. Origin and direction keyframing are on. Let's just close that now to tidy that up a bit so we can see both of them. Now, what we want to do is get out of effects and presets, go to preview. We want to use this button here to scroll through the frames. All right, so get that set up. But before we do that, let's just make sure we've got one of the advanced lightning layers selected. Let's just start with the top one, it doesn't matter. Grab the origin point, click, hold and drag, and just put it to the start of the hands there, or wherever you want it to shoot from, and the direction is where it's going to shoot to. Okay, now my other hand, I need to select the advanced lightning feature there, and I'm going to start it there and there. Okay, now what I want to do is actually I might go back a keyframe. I'm going to go back one keyframe. Yep, and I'm just going to tidy this up a bit. Now I might just start shooting the lightning bolt out. No, I won't do that. I'm just going to leave it the complete length. Alright, so what you'll need to do is you'll need to just, let's say, go forward 2 or 3, probably 3 keyframes, and then just 3 frames, sorry, and then just grab the origin and the direction of um, of each lightning bolt, so that it kind of just follows the path of the hand. It moves up and down the direction where it's hitting, moves up and down and moves around the rocking horse or whatever it is you've chosen. Okay, so go 3 more keyframes, and my hands haven't moved too much, so I'm not going to bother moving that, but I might just move the direction a little bit of it like this, just so it looks like it's moving. 1, 2, 3. Let's do that again. Move that there, move that there. Let's click on this one. Let's move that there and move that there. Now, if I go into one of the advanced lighting effects, so you can see that the keyframes are automatically generating. So now if I scrub through, you can see that it's following the path of my hands, all right? And you're just going to need to do that for as long as you need it to be done. Okay, so I'll get going with that, and then I'll speed the clip up so that you don't have to sit through it all. Okay, I'm not going to go all the way through it, but you get the idea. So let's just have a look at what that looks like. Okay, that's looking pretty cool. Now, the other thing you can do is, okay, once you've done all that you need to do, just close these 2 layers. Obviously, when a bolt of lightning is about to hit, it's going to create a glow around it. So let's just go to the first keyframe there where the lightning starts, and let's go to edit, layer, new, and let's create a new solid layer. And now the color is important here, so whatever color you want to kind of have a bit of a glow happening to. Now, obviously the light's yellow, so I'm going to kind of choose a nice bright yellowy color. Click OK, and now we've got a new layer there. Now, you want to change the blend mode of this layer to add. Okay, actually, just before I do that, I'll just undo that. With your 2 lightning bolt layers, also it's a nice thing to do is to change the, what a nice thing to do, sorry, is to change the blending mode to add, and that'll give it just a bit more of a nice glow to your lightning bolts. You can see that happening there. Now, if you can't see your blended modes, just click this button here, toggle switch, and that'll bring your blending mode up. Okay, so let's bring that other solid layer back, and let's keep that yellowy color, click OK, and let's change let's change the blending mode to add, and these work exactly the same as in Photoshop, and that's really bright. But what we're going to do is we're going to add a mask to it, so it's only going to affect a certain area. So let's click and hold in the shape tool up here, and let's grab the ellipse tool, and I'm going to kind of draw a circle or an ellipse kind of about maybe this big. Grab your move tool, and then you can move, whoops, just undo that. Oh, Let's do that again, sorry. Just going to draw a nice ellipse over there and grab your move tool, and let's just move it to where we need to go. Now, my layer needs to be a bit bigger there so that it's covering over there. Okay, now you can muck around with, if you can click and move it, and you can also click on the grey or different coloured bits there, and then you can change the shape of it. We're not going to worry too much about it. Now you'll notice in my solid layer I've got this thing called a mask. So when you draw a shape, you mask out a section, or you're just letting that effect only, or you're cutting out a section. Okay, so the effect's only affecting where I've drawn that circle, and you'll notice you've got masks and you've got mask 1. So go into your mask 1 tab here, and let's add a bit of feathering to it. Okay, and that's going to soften the edges. Again, this is the same as technique as you would use in Photoshop. When you feather something, just soften the edges. And let's drop the opacity right down so that it's just got this bit of a yellow glow going around this area where the lightning's coming from. Now you could get right into this and do sections on the face or special sections on the knee and parts of the body if you want. For this sake of this, I'm just doing a general mask over the top, so that if I go into preview, I'll just click off to get rid of the markers. Alright, so whoops. Now the other thing we need to do is we don't want the glow effect to start until the lightning bolts start. So again, just shorten the layer up into your playhead, about there, and if I go back 1 frame and forward a frame, then the effect comes on, and you can now, let's just play that. Alright, and that glows too much, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the opacity right down on it so that you can kind of barely see it, and that's going to look a bit more believable now. So play that, and there it is. Okay. Now obviously I didn't finish it, but you guys can go and film whatever kind of scene that you want, and have a go with that, playing around with that advanced lightning effect. Okay.